Three trading styles. Welcome to Fitness and Finance, right? And if you're watching us on YouTube, I am putting content, on Facebook. I am building content and a channel centered around this topic, fitness and finance. The link should be in the description of the video, but you can see the tagline right there if interested to find out about that. And this is all brought to you by the IM Academy. This is where you can learn the basics of trading with digital assets. This is what your back office would look like. And this is what the schedule, we have over 200 different live educators with different schedules, and you can go on and figure out what works for you and kind of figure out, everyone has different personality types and like to do different things. There's lots of different ways to do it. But the only way to know what works for you is to get in there and find out what works for you, right? So if you have any questions about the Academy, please let me know. Or if you just want to go ahead and jump in, there's nothing wrong with jumping in. I'm the kind of person that likes to do that. If you just click the link right here on the YouTube channel or inside the description of the video, join, it'll send you, then you can click and then sign up for the DCX, because there is more than one academy. So it's digital assets, digital currency, right? That's what it stands for. Now, just briefly in this video, I'm going to share with you three different basic trading styles, right? Three different basic trading styles. But just first, to give you a quick framework on beginner talk here. This is a free website. You can go to coingecko.com. I'm just going to do a quick volume check here. Volume check. Yeah, looks like it's working, sort of. Okay. Okay. So coingecko.com, and it lists all the digital currencies, almost all of them. There's some that's not on there, but there's almost, you can see there's 9,921 coins. How are you going to know which ones, and investigate? It's really a lot to do. And that's why it's so great to have a lot of professionals like in the Academy that they actually do all that stuff, and they bring us what they feel like is the most important, right? And so depending on what you're looking for and what you're interested in, and you can just kind of go off in that direction, right? Why is the background looking so blue? I'm not sure, but that's okay. All right. So anyway, so coingecko.com, you can check it out yourself, and it lists just in general settings setup, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Okay, so number 1, meaning the highest market cap. This over here, this number here, market cap. The number 1 coin is Bitcoin, if you haven't already heard of it. And the number 2 is Ethereum. So those are the top 2 that I really focus in on. And but there's others too. I mean, like you say, it's a lot. We just the other day, a teacher gave the top 10 big ones, top 10 medium-sized ones, top 10 little market caps. And so you can really diversify, right? But you have to kind of figure out what you like to do. But the 3 different trading styles, and I was just having this conversation the other day with one of my clients who knows a lot about building wealth, is you buy into things that you're confident with, right? So it's like, but you got to get confident with something. I mean, what are you confident with? So you can get confident with this by being around people that know what's going on. And I really firmly believe blockchain technology and digital currency, it's going to be integrated in the future. I don't know in how degree, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, this world is evolving and it's changing. And I mean, I love my country. I pray for America, and I pray for all the country, everybody in the world. But there's going to be a balance, because and once you kind of learn, like, what is digital currencies? It's called fiat, like when it's like an American dollar or a Canadian dollar or a European dollar, that's called fiat. And then that's kind of, it's a lot of dynamics. It's really fascinating. But the more you get into it, then you know where to do your investing, So okay, so we're just going to quickly look at Bitcoin on 3 different time frames. And I'm just kind of documenting my journey, because as I'm doing this, this is just part of my normal homework that I do for myself anyway. I'm just sharing with you what I'm looking at. I really personally pick Bitcoin to look at a lot because it really currently, when Bitcoin goes up and down, the whole market of digital currencies, almost the whole market is driven by Bitcoin. And so it's one of the ones that I'm feeling confident with. So it's one of my top 10 coins that I really believe in for the long term. So let's just take a look at that. Okay. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, and we're going to really zoom out briefly. We're just going to zoom out. And what I mean by zoom out, what's really fascinating about digital currencies is you can look at them on the different time frames. You can now imagine like a weekly time frame. Like a weekly is like 1 week at a time, each 1 week at a time. So for example, I'm going to switch each one of these. See how these are candles? I'm just going to kind of blow it up so maybe you can see it better real quick. See this? Each one of these candles is a week, okay? But when you're learning how to read digital assets, the line chart is often easier to read, okay? But just so you get an idea, each one of these is 1 week, okay? So if we zoom out, all the way out, so we can see it ever since its inception, or since it's been recorded on this exchange, okay? This goes all the way back to January 2015, right? Now, if you imagine if you knew what we know now, and that's the thing. So imagine if in 2015 and 2016, you knew that by today, Bitcoin would currently be 30,475, right? How many, and at the time price was probably under $100, how many Bitcoins would you have bought during that time? Think about that. If you knew, that's just a good question to think about. So if you knew in 2015 and 2016 back here, at the price of, look at it, this is for fun, just playing around here for a minute. So right around in here, look at this, okay. So I really kind of escalated through here. Okay, this price, $412. November 15th, November 2nd, 2015, Bitcoin was $437. Now, what if you knew you had somebody come and tell you about the future, and they said, well, when it gets to July, end of June 2023, it's going to be $30,000. How many would you pick up? You pick up a lot, right? So that's the thing. But you got to really believe in it. That's the thing. We didn't believe in it then. A lot of us did. I didn't even. It took me, I'd say, to start believing in it. I believed in it by faith because I had a client that suggested to me right around here during this time frame. He said to be looking at it. So about 3 years ago, I started believing in it. But that's the thing but we're still really early. I just want to let you know. But each one of these, this is how far time goes back, from 2015 to 2023. But now this is something that so 3 different ways to trade this. One is to what they call dollar cost average. You just, every week or every so often, you just buy some and you just keep buying it, and you believe you're going to hold it for 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years longer. So you sign up for an exchange and you just buy so much. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can just buy 0.1 of a Bitcoin. You can buy 0.01 of a Bitcoin. So it's all kind of ways but you just buy into it for the long run. You don't study the charts. Okay. But let's just do a quick little fun projection. Now it's 30,000. Where's it gonna go from here? Okay. Well, I'll just pop up. It looks like a lot there, but I'll break it down real quick. So these long lines going upward are called spider lines, and they're long-term projections, okay? And these red lines down here at the bottom or our potential, what we could expect. Right now it's 30,000. It could dip potentially to 17. It could go down to 7. It could go down to 3, maybe even down to 0 and crash altogether. We don't know. Nobody knows for sure, So I like to prepare as if I'm going to live forever, or live as if you're going to how's the saying? Live today like you're gonna die now, like live for the moment, but you want to prepare as if it's going to make it. We want to prepare for the success of Bitcoin. Yes, but while at the same time, if it does crash, also be prepared for that. We don't want to be surprised by anything. But so the red ones are the low potential. It could go down to these levels. And I actually hope it does, it'd be fine with me because it gives us more time to accumulate. And so, but it's going to work out the way it's going to work out. We can't control it. We can only work with the cards that were dealt, right? But you can see this is where we're at right now. But let's just pull out the good possible projections. Look at these little spider lines here. Okay, let's pull it down a little bit. Pull it down. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. So see, yeah. So by zoomed out too much. Okay. So even if it hits these projections, 170,000, 128,000, that's okay. If you had bought one today at 30,000, and even in 5 years, if it went to 125,000, that'd be all right, right? That's a 5 times your return. But now the thing about, you hear some wild stories, and I've seen them and felt them that happen. Sometimes you can get a 10x multiple on your money. Sometimes you can get a 100x multiple. Sometimes a 1,000x multiple. But a 5x multiple on Bitcoin, that's very realistic. That's super realistic. Now, this is on the weekly time frame. You can see the time frame right there, the weekly time frame. So these are some things that we're kind of looking at. This is for long term. We're trying to get an idea, where's it going to go in the long term? We're here now at 30. It could rise up or it could rise down, but we're going to take it, and there's ways to profit either way. You just have to figure out what your goals are, and then, do what's right for your goals. If you don't care about the day-to-day operations, you just buy some every week and you don't even look at it. You kind of forget about it. That's what you do. If you believe in a certain project, you just keep buying into it, and it pays off. I mean, that's the principle behind it. Dollar cost averaging. You can look it up and on Google and see how you feel about it. But now let's zoom down. Let's zoom down. We're gonna zoom all the way down. See this little spot right here? I'm gonna blow this up. We're gonna look at it under a different microscope here. See, now we were on the 15-minute time frame. Now we're on the, I'm sorry. Here we're on the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. But now we're going to blow this one candle up right here. Let's look at the little bitty 15-minute time frame. So we're trying to figure out where's it going to go from here. It's quite fascinating. And a lot of the teachers that I work with talk about zones. They love talking. There's different zones. So we're really looking out. Does it hit this zone? Does it break through that zone? Is it testing this zone? There's all kind of fun ways to look at it. But the second way to trade these digital assets are on the smaller time frames. It's like the day trading. But I'll tell you, it's really not for most people. But I think you have to be more of a risk taker and more of like being able to get in there and kind of look at it more and spending time with it, because you're kind of watching it, at least getting the setups. But then once you get good at it, you don't have to watch it as much. That's one of the things I've seen with my teacher. Once he programs the setups in, he doesn't have to. But at my level, like a medium level, I just enjoy watching it, because I feel like I'm learning and seeing some of these moves in person. I mean, when you see some of these big moves, sometimes it'll spring up quickly or spring down quickly, stay in a certain range for a long period of time, and then shoot up. It's amazing. It's just really fascinating, but it's not for everybody. So some people, I just want to buy and hold for the long term. But I remember when I first got into it, I always wanted to find it. When's the best time to buy? Price goes up, price goes down. So this program, which is part of the IM Academy, it's called Levels. this is a base, and he really, Oron, the coach, teaches on that 1 hour time frame. So see, here we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, but here's the 1 hour time frame, right? And these are some of my levels right now that I've drawn out. So, and so when's a good time to buy? That's the thing. Like, let's say we're looking for any place you see demand zone is the decent time to buy. Okay. And then anytime, then we have sell zones. Okay. But it helps to see it over and over to really get into it. So again, to swing trade, so there's scalp trading, swing trading, position trading. Position trading is buying and holding for the long term. You don't care the day-to-day prices. I'm just going to put this much into it every week and accumulate, and it's going to grow. And that's a wonderful strategy. I've seen so many successes on that strategy. It's a great, consistent, long-term strategy. So I do that one, and everybody's different. But I have a certain percent of my portfolio that's just that. But then I like to do swing trading and scalp trading. So swing trading is kind of like this. I'm looking for, like here, I picked up sometimes you can do a trade when it comes down to the red line, but see how it didn't go through and keep going down. See how it went down here? Just kind of see how here we went down. Can you see how that's going down? But then see how it got to this red line and it hit it, but it didn't go through it. It stopped. It stopped right there. So based on what I've learned, that's a great place to pick up a trade right there, right? So I picked up a trade right there, and I've already hit some profits on the way up. But then sometimes too, that's the thing. You can swing trade these. Each one of these things is 1 hour. So this is not, each one of these candles are 1 hour. So from here, if you pick up a trade here, just say you pick up here. Just say, I actually think I picked up here, because when I saw this big thing here, this big pin, I felt like it was a good place to pick up. So I picked up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Before it hit our target, 14 hours. Okay. So that's almost a scalp, almost a swing. But sometimes you can be in a trade and it'll last you 3, 5, 7, 10 days. And that's okay. But a scalp trade, technically a scalp trade, is trading these smaller zones. Like trading from, let's see. Yeah, like here's a good example. When we broke here, see how we hovered here, and then when we broke here, this is real significant. So like if you could pick up here, yeah, you could take profits